These are the guys who were between those that were not injured and those that were killed. We were in the middle.
The Palm Springs Air Museum holding an event to remember prisoners of war and those missing in action. How the event honors veterans. And a new California law helps utilities with wildfire lawsuits. We'll break down what it means. And coming up, it's week 5 of the high school football season. The Desert Mirage Rams at Indio Rajas face off in the game of the week. We have all the highlights from tonight on the best local sports show.
You're watching KESQ, the Desert's news leader. This is News Channel 3 at 11.
Good evening, I'm Karen Devine. John White has the night off. Today, people all over the country are recognizing prisoners of war and those missing in action. The Palm Springs Air Museum hosted a special ceremony honoring the men and women who bravely served. News Channel 3's Lauren Coronado sat down with 2 prisoners of war and shares their story tonight.
We just got one slice of bread a day for every day of the 4 months. One slice of bread about 3/4 of an inch thick. And so we were pretty emaciated when we got through, but it was worth it.
He's one of the few World War II prisoners of war alive to tell his story. Richard Thomas marched in the Battle of the Bulge in what he describes as one of Germany's coldest winters.
It's hard to express, but the buddies that I left behind mostly, and it hurts to think about it, but for them to be remembered like this is just fantastic.
Remembered at the inaugural POW and MIA recognition event at the Palm Springs Air Museum. Alongside Thomas is Tom Kirk, a POW for 5.5 years in a North Vietnam prison camp.
I'm shot down. I'm very badly injured. No one saw me get out. My family don't know if I'm alive or dead, and I failed my country. That was what I felt. And I wanted to die. There's no question, I just wanted to die. Then one day, I stomped my foot on the ground. I says, damn it, I'm here. I can't change it. I can't do a thing about it. Nobody cares. I've got to dig deep and find the strength and the will and determination to hang on to whatever they do it, and someday I'm going home.
And he did in 1973. But that wasn't the case for some, like Jenny Connell's husband, James Connell, who was also a POW during the Vietnam War.
I knew when they shot him down, they released his picture and said, we have this criminal, they called him. And I didn't know until the guys were released that he had died. It makes you realize what you're able to overcome.
We also remember those who are still classified as missing in action.
Lauren Coronado, News Channel 3.
A man missing since July 6 was found dead in his car. Take a look at this security video of 60-year-old Mario DePasquale leaving his home and preparing to drive right here to the Coachella Valley. He had reservations to stay at the Palm Desert Marriott but never checked in. DePasquale was found dead in his car off Highway 177 in Riverside County. Authorities do not believe his death is suspicious. A Desert Hot Springs High School clerk accused of taking hundreds of thousands of dollars from students is pleading not guilty to an embezzlement charge. 47-year-old Deneen Coleman is accused of taking over $300,000 over the course of 16 years while working as a financial clerk at the campus. The district says Coleman had 2 books going for the account. She resigned last December after an auditor noticed discrepancies in the statements. Coleman remains free on $10,000 bail tonight. Governor Jerry Brown signed a measure today allowing utility companies to bill their customers to pay for future legal settlements stemming from last year's devastating wildfires. The bill is aimed to prevent bankruptcy for the Pacific Gas and Electric Company. The company faces billions of dollars in liability if investigators determine its equipment caused the Tubbs fire that destroyed thousands of homes and killed 22 people in Santa Rosa last year. The measure is part of a wide-ranging plan to reduce the growing threat of wildfires. Continuing coverage on a home in Palm Springs where police discovered an illegal marijuana grow and senior citizens living in dangerous conditions. 75-year-old John Rodrigo was arrested and charged with marijuana cultivation and elder abuse at a home on the 300 block of West Stevens Road in Palm Springs. Police discovered hundreds of pot plants inside, and Adult Protective Services were back at the home today. Police were seen escorting some of those elderly residents into the house to collect their belongings. Neighbors say this isn't a surprise.
My reaction is I'm not surprised because there's so many odd things going on, so many allegations among the people about what's wrong inside the house that I'm not surprised to hear anything, and especially in this environment.
Neighbors say other bizarre things happened there. 2 weeks ago, an elderly man staggering out of the house, collapsing on the pavement, and later dying. Well, we first told you how the Mary Pickford Theater completed their installation of a new solar energy system earlier this week, and today they flipped the switch.
I ask you, please, flip the switch.
Concession stand appliances, big industrial grade projectors, and everything else it takes to run the Mary Pickford Theater in Cathedral City, now powered by green energy. The theater is the first in the country to become 100% energy sustainable.
One of our goals has always been for the city and city council is to be more green and to have the green energy.
Assemblymember Eduardo Garcia and Supervisor Manuel Perez were at today's ribbon cutting ceremony. Well, the California Highway Patrol out in force this morning, making sure students and parents are safe at school bus stops. It's all part of a school bus safety enforcement operation in the Mid and East Valley, aimed at getting drivers to stop for the flashing red lights of parked school buses. CHP says this violation is a common issue seen by local law enforcement. They want drivers to be mindful when they see a school bus and watch out for kids. CHP says around 7 people were stopped by officers during the operation today. Drivers that were stopped were given either a warning or a citation. Well, week 5 of the high school football season in the books. Blake and Cody will bring you all the highlights of tonight's action in just a few minutes. Plus, Haley Clausen is up next on News Channel 3 with your full First Alert forecast. Haley.
We're seeing clear skies overhead, but when you step outside, you can still feel the stickiness of all of the extra moisture in our atmosphere. Well, I am tracking its departure coming up in my complete First Alert forecast. You're watching KESQ, the Desert's news leader.
Now, First Alert weather with Chief Meteorologist Haley Clausen.
Today is the last day of the summer season, and as we get ready to head into fall, we're only going to be dealing with minor temperature changes, but actually for the weekend, we're actually going to be increasing our temperatures, stepping away from what's considered normal for this time of year. Nothing's too extreme, but everything will continue to be subtle, even when we're talking about the dry out. If only that humidity would leave us so much quicker. But first, about these temperatures, today we came in with a high of 102. Average high for today's date would be 99 degrees. Now tomorrow, like I said, is going to be warmer, but we're still not talking anything too extreme. This is the desert, still in September, and we have clear skies overhead. That is much appreciated. Not a whole lot to look at there on our satellite and radar, but you step outside and you can feel all of the moisture that is in our atmosphere. We really began these humid conditions yesterday. It continued into today. Throughout this afternoon, we were looking at our relative humidity values in the 30s. Pretty much the same setup right now, and we're still going to be staying on the muggy side even as we make our way into Saturday. We really like to see these numbers below 50 degrees. That's when it's a lot more comfortable for us out there. Tomorrow, looking to hang out in the mid 50s for the majority of the afternoon. Now watch what happens as we go into Sunday afternoon then. Trying to drop a little bit lower into the upper 40s. We can take that. It is going to be this gradual dry out that occurs through the weekend, even following us into the next work week. So we're muggy, and then we're really going to be able to notice a little bit drier air. Tomorrow, also looking to see more of those clouds develop over the mountains, just like we saw today. But here in Palm Springs, a high temperature near 106. If you're trying to cool off, head towards the coast, upper 70s for San Diego. For Los Angeles, low to mid 80s. Clouds to start the day and then beginning to clear out near the century mark for Las Vegas. Staying in town, we'll get those errands or those activities done early. Temperatures will be mild to start the day, but again, they will be climbing rather quickly into the triple digits by the noon hour. Still going to be humid one more day. Rather becoming muggy, I should say, not going to be quite as humid as it was today. And then that dry out just continues through the weekend into the following work week. And look at those numbers next week. It's a run of consistency. Our morning lows in the mid 70s for majority of the week, and then our afternoon highs in the lower hundreds. Not bad at all. We are certainly going to be dealing with a run of consistency, but of great weather for the first full week of fall.
That's dreamy. I mean, that's what we look for. The low 100s are just nice. When people come to visit out here, this is what they're looking for. We can handle it.
Exactly.
You know, the air conditioner might come on a little bit during the day, but not much.
It's totally great. We just need to get rid of the humidity and we'll all be loving it.
Okay. Well, you said it's going bye-bye.
It is.
Yes. All right. Well, thank you for making News Channel 3 your choice for news. Don't go away, because coming up next, the best local sports show with Blake and Cody.
Now, the best local sports show with sports director Blake Arthur and Cody Krupp.
Hey, no Thursday games this week and limited number of Friday matchups, but still plenty of action. That includes our game of the week featuring the Rams and Rajas, both with similar seasons so far. Desert Mirage and Indio, they leave it all on the field in a battle of league unbeatens.
Yeah, Blake, we're looking at a full schedule for the rest of the Desert Valley League. Many teams in the Desert Empire had this Friday off, so it was the DVL's time to shine. It is the 6th week of the high school football season, and it starts right now.
You're watching the best local sports show with Blake and Cody.
Welcome into the best local sports show. Blake Arthur alongside Cody Krupp. And Cody, not every team with a game this week, which we will get to, but still some important matchups, especially our game of the week between Desert Mirage and Indio, which turned out to be a great game.
Yeah, we seem to be picking them well. I think that's 5 out of 6. They were great games. The Raja,
knock on some wood.
Knock on some wood, yeah.
Jinx
We got Shadow Hills and Palm Desert next week, so live up to it. But these Rajas and Rams both picked up a win last week. Very convincing wins for both of these programs. Some offensive splurges, if you may say, and I think we saw another good one tonight.
Yeah, big offensive performances, which you mentioned from DM and Indio, leading to their first win of the year for both teams. So coming into this one, each with identical 1-3 records overall, but a chance to get to 2-0 in the DVL. That's key. Raja's running out of their little, what do you call that? It's like a little blow-up deal.
Yeah, I've seen some good ones this year. I think some new teams are investing in their blowout runouts.
So Indio running out of there, but we know the Rams like to run the rock. Manny Ridge, 408 yards, 6 touchdowns last week, his first of the game here. Head coach Eric Perry, he'll tell you, look, it's 45 left, 45 right, try and stop it. Not many people can. He's just a beast. More Ridge off the left side, touchdown. Rams out in front, 14-0, early behind their workhorse back, Manny Ridge. But here comes Indio. Abishan Martinez up top to Matthew Cruz.
Brady.
Wow, goes back and gets it for the touchdown. Flag on the play. Looks like pass interference, but it didn't matter. Touchdown there for Indio. Next Rams possession, though, Manny Ridge. You hate to see this. He goes down. Coach Perry said it was a dislocated shoulder. Hope he's okay, but him out and Indio's got a chance. We hope Manny's okay. Victor Hilario for Indio off the left side. Touchdown there. So the Rajas are right back in this thing, and in the fourth, it's Hilario again.
What a game.
Look at this. Muscles it in there, takes a shot, made it 21-20. So Indio says, to heck with the extra point, we're going to win this thing. They go for 2 in the lead, and they get it. So it's 22-21, Indio in front at home. But the Rams with a chance late with a field goal. But it's no good, Cody. No good. Pandemonium in Indio. Wow, look at Scotty Gilbert.
They're fighting Gilbert.
Scotty G getting up off the ground, backpack going everywhere. The Rajas win it 22-21. Great game as Indio, they get to 2-0 in DVL play.
Feels good, you know, I started off not as good, not how we wanted to, but we came out and we executed and finished it off strong.
Feels great. You know, all that motivational speech helped us out a little bit. You know, we got that victory. Thank the coaches and everything, but that's how we get it.
It was a tough game, you know. We came out, we weren't firing on all cylinders. They punched us in the mouth really good. And that's a scrappy team that keeps fighting. And I was so impressed with, we were whittled down, but we came back and we kept fighting and fighting and fighting, and we got back in the game, and that is truly what champions have to do.
Hey, it doesn't matter what that scoreboard says. All we aim for is what? That W, right?
Yeah.
Y'all deserved it. Good job, fellas.
Eat the dub, go. Be careful. Take care of yourselves over there.
Wow. Are you hungry?
Kinda. He got me a Jack in the Box taco for dinner, which is really nice. 2 weeks in a row, you've hooked me up.
We both now need some humble pie because we picked Desert Mirage and Indio. Wow. Congratulations.
Manny Ridge could have been a different story, but that doesn't take away from Indio.
Yes, I would agree 100%, but what a win for the Rajas. All right, more DVL action. 29 Palms making the trip from the high desert all the way to the East Valley, Cody, to take on Coachella Valley.
Yeah, we had Coachella Valley. They got that big victory last week against Yucca Valley, which we both talked about last week. It could maybe be a league title type of deciding game.
Maybe.
All right, let's get to this one, though. But before we do, how about the JV? A one-handed grab with time very left on the clock. And Coachella Valley gets the victory. So that's got to get your varsity fired up a bit on a hot, humid, muggy night in the East Valley. So here we go. The defense, though, they're going to strike first for Coachella Valley. Cesar Hueso just trying to keep it alive. But Herberto Eddie Flores, the interception. So they'll take that to about the 15. It was a good opening drive for the Arabs, but did not end with a touchdown. Instead, my man, Jonathan Ponytail Carson. His mom, she loves that nickname. She said he's had those Goldie locks since he came out of the womb. But Donnie Fitzgerald, this dude has been throwing touchdowns since he could walk. So yeah, he found Jacob Calderon right there. And broken coverage, though. How about this Wildcats answer? Again, it's the ponytail. That is pretty.
That flow.
Yeah, the flow is good. The ball is good. That was real good. But Donnie Fitzgerald was unbelievable tonight. So that was a great run right there. But then why not throw it up to your brother as well? Angel Fitzgerald in traffic. So, Blake, 8 touchdowns. 8 touchdowns for Donnie Fitzgerald. His brother got one.
Snowman.
Everybody gets one. The sophomore slinger doing it well. 61-27. A blowout with the Arabs taking down those Wildcats.
8 touchdowns?
8 touchdowns.
You're not lying.
That's what his dad said, and I believe his dad. He keeps track. He knows how his sons are doing. He knows what's up.
Papa Fitz.
Loving
his kids. And we love more football. We got more coming up. DVL action. Cathedral City clashes with Desert Hot Springs, while Yucca Valley battles Banning.
Yeah, we got Desert Chapel at home as well. They're trying to get their first win of the year. Don't go anywhere, though. We got lots more here on KESQ and CBS Local 2.
You're watching the best local sports show with Blake and Cody.
Gotta respect those guys as always.
Salute to them for sure.
Salute to them. And respect to the DVL. Gave us some pretty good games here in week 6. We're 2 down, 2 to go as we roll on with Cathedral City and Desert Hot Springs.
Yeah, Cody, 2 teams coming off a league loss in their debut, but hoping for better here in week 2 as someone was going to get their first league win in this one. They were fired up at Desert Hot Springs for this one. Oh, Will the Thrill. I mean, does that guy just capture some of the sweetest images?
Is that fireworks or what was that?
There was some smoke. I don't really know, to be honest with you, but Cathedral City, they brought the fireworks early and often, putting up the first 3 scores in this one. Number 38 there with the touchdown. And then how about quarterback Nico Guardiola taking it himself? Lions led 20-0. They hung a 20 spot on the Golden Eagles to start, but DHS would get it going. Alonzo Moss, Cody.
That's good.
How good is this guy? Just an athlete. Get him the ball. TD put DHS on the board there, and then the defense making some plays. Guardiola goes up top. He's young, and you can't throw in a double coverage. He gets picked off by Robert Taylor, and Taylor wasn't done there, getting some return yards.
Good receiver, too.
That would lead to a touchdown. Yeah, he looked like a receiver on that play, no question about it. After trailing 20-0, Cody, you're down 20-0 at home, but you rally back to win 34-27. That's got to feel good for Errol Wilson and Desert Hot Springs.
That's unbelievable.
They get their first win in the DVL this season. What's that bar we gave a shout-out to last time? Where do they go out there in DHS? Playoffs. Shout out to playoffs. Playoffs.
Get a happy hour, by the way.
DHS.
They didn't have a happy hour. I don't get it. So let's head to the backside of the Mount San Jacinto. It's Banning High School hosting Yucca Valley. It's a pretty good ball game for most of these 4 quarters. A heavy dosage of the future Pac-12 player, Teron Madison. He's got 7 offers from the Pac-12. Wow. So that made it 7-6. They were trailing. But the challenge is trying to stop this passing attack by Yucca Valley. That was Braden Brimhall to Elmer Montez Reyes. But watch Madison. He's not going for quarterback, but you fooled me into a tight spot. Tate and Chartel. So that was good, but the Trojans were real good. This is, well, one of their running backs, Cale Robinson, and this quarterback, Brimhall. He had 4 touchdowns, a solid effort for these Trojans after, of course, we mentioned the tough loss to Coachella Valley. Came back and sent a message to Banning, 42-28. Coach Thompson's squad, that is a way to respond.
Speaking of Trojans, Cody, the USC Trojans with a 39-36 win over Washington State on Friday night. Okay. Nice win for them at home into college. How about Desert Chapel, the cheerleaders trying to encourage the Eagles to get their first win of the year against San Jacinto Valley Academy. Look at the defense. Swarming to the football. Nice play there by Matthew Sutton. And then on offense, Lane Foley. Is it Foley? Is it Foley?
I like Foley better.
Send me a text. Send us an email. Let us know. Lane, I apologize. Yeah, get mad at us. Great play there. Toss to Purcell Green. 2 sophomores, but you heard me say sophomores. This DC team is very young. They're going to be good in a couple of years, but a lot of youth on this ball club. They're building to their future. This was all San Jacinto Valley Academy. The Wolves wallop the Eagles 52-12, your final.
So we couldn't get this one as some highlights, but a big congratulations in order. Coach Rivenes, his first win as the Blackhawks head coach. They went to Lakeside, and it was a thumping 54-6. Well, our personal favorites, we're a little biased with West Shores. Just everything they are out there in the Salton City. 28-22, a big win. Oh, God, I love those Wildcats. Can't get enough of them.
Hey, look, man, you almost lose your football program. You revive it, you keep it alive, and you still compete. Got to give it up to the Wildcats. And then also want to mention, Cody, you won't have highlights of this game because it'll be on the road at Verbum Day, but Xavier Prep plays Saturday, 1 o'clock.
So maybe I'll find some highlights on Twitter or something. We'll have to wait and see.
You are pretty good at that.
We'll find something. So
I don't have any doubts.
We'll get you some Saints love tomorrow, but don't go anywhere. We got more football left. Of course, Blake, I usually ask me, but what's coming up next?
Are you taking my lines?
I am, so I'm running low. We're already to week 6.
Play of the week nominees are coming up next.
Hey.
We're switching things up.
Stay here.
Right here, Best Local Sports Show.
You're watching the Best Local Sports Show with Blake and Cody.
All right, so yeah, you actually saw Coach right after that. He wiped his brow. Not much to worry about, though, when you have a quarterback who toss 8 touchdowns. So.
Crazy.
And one of those might make our plays of the week, which coming up right now.
We got him right now. Plays of the week. Let's roll him. Number 1 nominee, Robert Taylor, Desert Hot Springs.
RT.
Interception, went up and got it, and then he got some yak after Robert Taylor, nominee number 1.
All right, so let's go back to the East Valley, like I mentioned. Got to give some love to an 8-touchdown performance. Donnie Fitz to Angelo Fitz. I think that was even a better catch than it was a throw. They were both real nice, though, in traffic. Way good enough for nominee number 2.
All right, nominee number 3, Abishan Martinez up top to Matthew Cruz of Indio in our game of the week, and the Rajas win 22-21, a wild one there at Indio. Now be sure to log on to vote, our website, KESQ.com, look for the poll, you can vote, and we'll have the winner on Monday.
All right, so coming up after the break, we have a special segment dedicated to the Desert Empire League, which we cannot call the DEL. We're still might call here and there, but stick around. That is next right here on the Best Local Sports Show.
Welcome back to the Best Local Sports Show. We mentioned a handful of Desert Empire teams are off this week, but not next week as they start league play. Cody.
Yeah, Blake, these teams, some of them a chance to get rested. They're going to start playing each other next week. So we thought, why not quickly, before we go, let's take a look at what that first week has in store for us.
Yeah, just as a reminder, though, Palm Desert, Palm Springs, La Quinta, Rancho Mirage, Shadow Hills, and Xavier Prep. It is a 6-team league. And for what it's worth, the Aztecs are the reigning Desert Valley League champions. So we'll see if they can win it again this year in the new Desert Empire League. Here's a look at those matchups. If we can get there it is. Palm Desert at Shadow Hills. Cody, we think that one could decide the league champion.
Probably the game of the year.
Yeah, game of the week for sure. And then all those other games, we, of course, will have all the coverage. We are looking forward to it. And I'm also looking forward to the Rams and Chargers on Sunday, which we have coverage for.
Of course.
Yeah. That's going to do it for us. We'll see you next week right here on the Best Local Sports Show.